Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Wrong Side Simulations. My name is Blake and today is going to be a real quick and fast flight. I have to leave the house here in about roughly 30 minutes to pick up my girlfriend from getting her hair cut and then run some errands. Our estimated time en route is about 38 minutes, so we're going to be cutting it real close. So as always, I am a real-life flight dispatcher. I specialize in Airbus aircraft, so today I'm going to do quick flows and checklists, similar to what probably a real pilot would do, based off of my company's SOPs and flows as best that I can remember them. I have gone into our manuals before and looked them up, but they have since changed, therefore they're not super current, but it's probably a little more realistic than other simmers that you would find. So without further ado, let's jump inside the cockpit and get rolling real fast. So we cannot take any sort of delay. I'm just go ahead and turn off the camera so we can all get a good view of the aircraft. Battery 1 and 2 comes on. External power. Align the ADIRs. CVR test. It's about 60 something degrees here in Orlando. We'll go engine 1 fire test. Looks good. APU fire test. And then engine 2 fire test. Looks good. Alright, let's start programming the McDo. I'm going to do some narrating, but I'm probably going to skip through a lot of stuff that I would usually talk about just because we're on a huge time crunch today. Took me a bit longer to create the thumbnail and all that bullshit for YouTube. So we're a little bit behind. Let's see, our planned zero fuel weight today is 113.1. If I do the OFP request from SimBrief, it's going to give me zero fuel weight that's way too heavy. That's over 10,000 pounds more. So let's just start throwing random numbers in there. So 118, we need 113. Let's go 60 passengers. Still a little too heavy. Let's go 55. 53, that's not gonna be enough. 50. Alright, that'll work. Start boarding. We get packs going. Cool. Passengers are boarding. Now we'll do our diff rips. Diff strip. Nav data is current. Init. Looks good there. Flight plan. Orlando departing off 35 left. On the Dandy 1 arrival, or departure rather. JIPOD transition. Insert. Today maybe. Now we are running the experimental version of the fly-by-wire, so who knows if this will work or not. There we go, finally. Probably get a crash to desktop with our luck. Lauderdale arrival, ILS 10 left on the CUDA 1. We'll go hollow transition onto the approach, and then our transition onto the arrival is also JIPOD. Insert, check for discons. Oh, we got one there, we want that one. We'll leave it. The approach looks good. Go to the NetB page. Actually, we're going to go secondary, can't use it, RadNav. We'll put in the Orlando VOR, as well as a Lauderdale VOR. Moving too fast for the airplane. Sweet, that's set up. Waiting for those passengers to get finished boarding. While we're waiting for them, we'll brighten everything up. Flight directors are on. Cross constraints, VORs. We have our fuel on board, so we'll go ahead and turn on the seatbelt sign. We're not too far from being ready to depart, so we'll get the APU going.
If the overhead bin is full, please make sure you close it as a courtesy to other passengers. Please double check that all your items are put away.
So we're at airside 3. We'll push back. We're going to taxi over. We'll consider this our departure brief. So we're going to push back. We'll taxi out Echo 3, Foxtrot. What is this? Golf. Hotel 10, short 35 left. Runway is grooved. 150 feet wide. We've got 10,000 feet of wet runway. We're going to consider the runway contaminated with standing water. If it was just wet, we would not consider it contaminated, but it's been raining quite a bit today here in Orlando, so we'll consider it contaminated. It's going to be a toga takeoff. Departing on the Dandy 1. Signed by ATC. So off 35 level, climb on heading to 005 to intercept course 075 to cross Goham at or above 2600 and at or below 250 knots. Then climb on track 085 to cross Megs, who knows, at or below 5,000. Then on track to 110 degrees, so on and so forth. So we're going to put our initial crossing constraint of 5,000 in. Start the timer for the APU bleed. So let's see. I'm the pilot flying and the pilot monitoring today. Weather is a factor, terrain's no factor. Any issues before V1, we'll stop the aircraft on the runway and assess the issue there. After V1, we're going flying. Looking at our gross weight, we're at 130,000 pounds. Our planned takeoff weight's 129.3, so we are a little bit heavier than planned, but we're below our max landing weight, so we need to come back, we can. Let's start getting all this stuff pulled. We'll disconnect ground power. And we're just waiting on a 3-minute timer for the APU warm-up before we turn on the bleed. Let's see. Try not to miss anything. Passengers should be done boarding by now. So 0 fuel weight 113.5, a CG of, we'll just call it 25. Block fuel is 16.6. It's going to be a flaps 2 takeoff, toga takeoff, transition altitude 18,000 feet. And got our V speeds 21, 22, 26. No flex. Go ahead and pull the jet bridge as well. We are using Latin VFR's Jet Bridge Pro.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 36.
You can hear the jet bridge sounds.
Fort Lauderdale. Our flight time will be roughly 38 minutes. Note the cabin door is now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in
Got one more minute left on the warm-up.
are now shut down and stowed.
Flaps 121 Simulations is in the chat. What's going on? Jim as well. Hey, what's up? Okay, what's the alternate? Weather looks pretty bad down here. The alternate is Orlando. We are carrying an alternate today. Pretty much the weather is all the same throughout Central and North Florida. Ceiling's around 800 feet, and showers or vicinity showers, possibility of vicinity thunderstorms. Nowhere really to go that's just beautiful. So we've got Orlando as the alternate.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed, and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set.
Boom,
You
boom,
may
boom,
lift.
boom. Everything's good.
Parking brake set.
Locked it
Lifting
up.
aircraft.
Alright, before start checklist all the way, maintenance log and tails on board and check, copper preps complete, gear pins covers are removed, signs on auto, ADIRS, nav. Our fuel today, min required is 14.5, we have 16.6 on board, altimeters 300 set, FB's checked, windows door slides closed and armed. Beacon's on, thrust lever's idle, parking brake is on, transponder is in auto. Before start checklist is complete. And we got a 3-minute warm-ups. Turn on the bleed. And we're ready to go. Release the brakes.
Cockpit to ground.
Start the push.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the flight attendants for a safety demonstration. When the seatbelt light is fastened, please make sure that your seatbelts are fastened low and tight across your lap. To fasten, insert the metal fittings into one another and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the entire flight as you may experience unexpected turbulence. There are several emergency exits on this aircraft. Please take a few moments now to locate your nearest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, floor-level lighting will guide you towards the exit. In the event of a loss of cabin pressure, an oxygen mask will drop in front of you. Start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you, and place it firmly over your nose and mouth. Secure the elastic band behind your head and tighten the straps if necessary. And don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask, and you can breathe normally. If you're traveling with children, now's the time to pick your favorite one. But secure your mask and then assist others.
Set the
Keep your
parking
mask
brakes.
on until a member of the crew advises you.
Okay, pushback completed. Please
In
set
the
your
event
parking
that the
brake.
pilot decides to take us for a
Parking
swim,
brake
a
set.
fashionable life
And
vest
today we're going to be doing a
is
single engine
located
taxi.
in the seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and
So we'll go
remove
engine
the
mode
strap.
selection
Startup
normal.
is complete. You may disconnect.
Wrap the
Arm
straps around
spoilers,
your
reset
waist
rudder
and
trim,
strap.
flaps 2 for
Pull the strap
takeoff.
tight.
TCAS TA,
Pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting.
25 on the CG.
If your light
We'll leave the
vest does
APU
not
on.
go automatically, blow into the
Yellow
mouth
electric pump.
switches for manual and
After start
manual.
checklist, engine IS is off, yellow electric pump off, rudder trim 0. After start checklist is complete.
The secondary flotation device. Once again, all devices must be in airplane mode and your larger devices must be turned off and stowed at this time. Please securely stow your
Let's see,
personal
we're on
items.
air side
Make
3.
sure your seatbelts are fastened and seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the lavatories is prohibited by law. All of this information can be found
Orlando
in the
traffic,
card located
Spirit
in the
Wings
seat back in front of you.
675.
Read it and let a cabin
Is
member
that
know if you
airside
have
3
any
going to be
questions.
taxiing
Thank you for flying us again. We hope
Foxtrot
you
to
enjoy your
Golf,
flight.
short 35 left, Orlando. Alright, here we go. Brake check, pressure 0. So yeah, the weather has been pretty crappy today down here in Orlando, and it looks even worse in Lauderdale. When I was planning the flight, showing some occasional moderate turbulence, flight level 300 to 360. We're going to be below that, but I'm sure with the weather, clear left and right, with the weather we're going to be still getting some bumps. En route we can expect some pockets of moderate to heavy precip, maybe even some extreme precip, and as we get closer to Lauderdale, some isolated thunderstorms, possible vicinity thunderstorms at ETA. Alright, now that we're on a straightaway, we'll do a flight controls check. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral rudder, full left, and full right. Then the FO, or the pilot monitoring, would silently do theirs. Pick up a bit of speed, and then we're going to start engine number 2. Alright, yellow electric pump comes off, and starting number 2. It's a lot easier to do this stuff whenever I got my co-pilot, Mr. Rio from Flaps 121 Simulations. I can let him do all this stuff while I'm concentrated on taxiing. And does anyone know how to correct Microsoft Flight Sim C700 cabin differential pressure? Switch. Nope, don't know that. Clear left and clear right. We'll go through a mini brief real quick. So we're going to be parting off 35 left on the Dandy 1 arrival. Our first fix is go home at or above 2600, 250 knots max, and then MiGs 5000, Lapu at or above 7000. It's going to be a flaps 2 toga takeoff. 121, 122, 126, no flex. Mini brief is complete. We'll run the timer for the 3-minute engine warm-up. Boom, 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 boom. All that's done. Daggum wind. Kill the APU. Alright, after start checklist, engine NAIS is off. Yellow pump is off, rotor trim 0. Before start checklist to the line. Gross weight comparison complete, pitch trim 25% CG set, V1 VR V2 flex. 121, 122, 126, no flex. Flaps config 2, flaps check, flight controls check. Kmco. Actually, I forgot to do my after start flow. We'll leave that off since it's in op. There we go.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Alright, flight spins check, flight controls check, Kmco, takeoff all green, Ekm status is checked. Predictable wind shear is on auto, TCAS code set TRA. Cabin crew is advised, mini briefs complete. Takeoff runways 35 left. Fuel 14.5 is required, we've got 16.5 on board. Engine mode selectors, normal bleed packs are set. Before start checklist, all the way is complete. Let's get on out of here. Orlando traffic, Spirit Wing 675. We're taking position, runway 35 left, departing on the Dandy 1 arrival, or correction, departure, Orlando. I don't know if it's clear on the arrival or not, since we can't see. We're supposed to wait the 3-minute engine warm-up, but this airplane's not turning. I don't really have time for that since I gotta leave the house here pretty quick. Alright, here we go, folks. Toga takeoff. Man, Toga, SRS runway, auto thrust blue. Got some weird flickering going on. Probably because it's experimental. 80 knots thrust set. A little windy. There's V1. Rotate. Let off the rudder. Positive rate, gear up, disarm spoilers, nav. Kill that. I like to usually zoom in on the PFD, but I want to see any breakout of the clouds that we get. Acceleration climb, thrust climb, open climb. Flaps 1. And flaps up. Flight directors are bouncing everywhere. Megs is going to be at or below 5,000. We got 1,000 to go. Still not icing conditions. At Alt Star. Orlando traffic, Spirit Wings 675 is clear, runway 35 left. Orlando. It's a little late, focused. One mile to Megs, then we're going 7,000. Alt. There's Megs. 7,000, open climb. Still hand flying. A thrust climb, open climb. Speed Alt Star. And actually it's at or above 7,000, so we can keep going up. We'll go up to our final 250. Thrust climb, open climb. Left my camera in Orlando. So in real life, we definitely would not be operating this flight with an in-op weather radar like we have. Since we're flying the experimental version, weather radar is in-op. No way in hell would you want to fly in this kind of weather and not be able to see what you're flying at.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet. You may now turn on your larger
There's
portable
Lapu.
electronic devices. This is also a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened while you're seated and do not congregate in the galley or near the lavatory. This aircraft is equipped with onboard Wi-Fi. You will be required to
Now we're going to
use
accelerate.
small keys to access it.
We'll go autopilot
We'll offer
1,
complimentary in-flight speed thanks to our partners.
10,000 feet.
Connect to the Wi-Fi, you'll be able to access our wide range of free live streaming and KCC library.
Want to see a good breakout. Alright, today we're flying CI-99, which is not modeled in the fly-by-wire, so we're going to just do selected speed. We have to be cognizant of the rides or the turbulence. The turbulence can cause a overspeed. We definitely don't want that. Wrong knob. There we go. And we're going to cut the corner off and go direct Copen. Oh, there's the breakout. Damn it. I'm going to be right back into it. Direct Copen. Supposed to show a line there. Go insert. Boom. And I'm wondering why I'm not getting my overlay. And there's transition altitude, 18,000 feet. We'll go standard. Hit the standby as well. Put us at 25,000 feet to try to get us above as much of this stuff as possible. But it's going to be a real quick, like, up and right back down. So it's not really going to matter. So I hope everybody out there is doing good. I'm trying to figure out why my overlay is only working with the video and not with without the video. So you might see me switching back and forth trying to figure this out. Oh, I know why. had the overlays layered incorrectly. See, we are in icing conditions. Turn those on. And we'll address our passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, I want to welcome you aboard Spirit Wing 675. We are climbing up to our final cruise altitude of 25,000 feet, and going to try to dodge as much of this weather as we can and find the smoothest rides. More than likely, we'll keep the seatbelt sign on for the duration of the flight, as we expect moderate turbulence throughout most of the flight. But as always, we want to thank you for flying Spirit. We'll give you a brief overview of the weather as we get a little bit closer and we start our way down into Fort Lauderdale. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, I want to welcome you aboard Spirit Wing 675. We are climbing up to our final cruise altitude of 25,000 feet, and going to try to dodge as much of this weather as we can and find the smoothest rides. More than likely, we'll keep the seatbelt sign on for the duration of the flight, as we expect moderate turbulence throughout most of the flight. But as always, we want to thank you for flying Spirit. We'll give you a brief overview of the weather as we get a little bit closer and we start our way down into Fort Lauderdale. I feel like that's super nerdy. For anybody that jumps in while I'm saying that, it sounds super nerdy. But on the playback, it sounds a little bit better. Alright, so as soon as we reach 24,000 feet, it's going to be time to come down more than likely. So let's go ahead and do our approach briefing. So we're coming in on the CUDA 1 arrival. We are direct coping right now. After coping, we co-lot at or above. Flight level 240, 280 knots. And we'll just work our way down, following the arrival as best we can without any kind of VNAV. We are planning to land on the ILS runway 10 left. Approach frequency is 110.1. Final approach course is 96 degrees. Final approach fix is Novate 1800. Our decision height is 200 feet above the ground. Touchdown zone elevation is 7 feet. If we go missed, we're going to climb to 800, then a climbing left turn to 4,000. Then just going to swing around and try it again. Our glide slope is 3 degrees, which is standard. We got approach lights with a pappy on the left, and again, if we go missed, climb to 800, climbing left turn to 4,000. Our minimums 200 feet ceilings with a half-mile visibility. We'll pull the weather in just a second, make sure that we have that. Taking a look at the runway that we're landing on, we have high-intensity runway lights, approach lights. It's non-standard with a 370-foot gap between stations. Okay, don't care. Pappy with on the right side, angle of 3 degrees, and it's grooved 150 feet wide. We got 9,000 feet of wet runway. Still enough, and we're pretty light today, so we're gonna go auto brake low. Let's see, terrain's no factor, weather is a factor, possibility of low level wind shear and convective activity in the area. We have an alternate of Orlando and about 45 minutes of hold fuel if we need it. If anybody has any questions, throw them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll consider the approach brief complete. We're at flight level 250. Cool. So auto brake low. We'll arm the ILSs, and we'll put in some weather data as soon as we pull this ATIS. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to pull the ATIS here because it usually crashes the desktop when I do that. So I'm going to pull it elsewhere. Alright, let's see. For Lauderdale. Information: Victor, wind 030 at 5, 10 statute miles, light rain, scattered at 2100, scattered 5500, broken 7500, temperatures 23, dew point 23, altimeter 2998. Let's see. Arrival, expect ILS approach 10 left, 10 right. Departing runway 10 left, 10 right. Parallel operations are being conducted on parallel runways. Da 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 da. Shoreline traffic numbers, birds in vicinity of the airport. Cool, so there's no low-level wind shear advisories and no thunderstorms as of now. There's a convective SIGMET down there, but it's actually Lauderdale is in the convective SIGMET. Looking at thunderstorms with tops up to 37 with average tops of 30,000 feet in the area. Alright, so we're gonna, as soon as we get this stuff in, we'll start our way down. So altimeter is 2998. Temperature's 23. Wind 030 at 5. Transition altitude, as we all know, is 18,000. 200 foot ceilings, or minimums. No questions. Says flaps 121. Alright, we'll go ahead and start our way down. We'll slow down to 280 knots, which is the speed restriction for this crossing constraint. On 10.196, we'll make sure that that's in there. And it is. Nasty IMC weather. So before we get busy, how's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope you're staying dry if you're in Florida. There's 24,000. Next we're going to come down to, next cross train is at or above flight level 150 at Willocks at 270 knots. So let's go down.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to the short duration of this flight, we will not be able to offer in-flight service.
She's just now telling passengers that. But as always, my name is Blake. I appreciate anybody who stops by to watch or watch the playback. I am a real-life dispatcher, and I try to use the experience that I have and the things that I've learned from working in for a major U.S. carrier to show some more realistic flows and checklists and things that would be done compared to the average simmer. Yeah, Jim, that's PAX that I'm running. PACX, made by TFDI. It's a pretty nifty little program. We'll show it off real quick while we're coming down. So drag this over. So as of right now, we're in the descent phase. You got our call sign, expected arrival in 27 minutes. Probably be a little bit quicker than that, I hope. They're 95% satisfied. And here you can see we have a virtual cabin. This should be the flight attendant doing a little walkthrough as we're descending. Nobody should be up. Everybody should have their seatbelts on. It's been a pretty smooth ride actually through all this stuff. I've decided to leave the seatbelt sign on since you never know Alright, so we'll give our passengers a little briefing real quick. And ladies and gentlemen, again from the cockpit, we have started our initial descent into Fort Lauderdale Airport. Current weather in Fort Lauderdale, winds from the east at 5 knots. We got some light rain and some ceilings at 7,500 feet. Temperature's 23 degrees. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, so don't ask. We are expecting an on-time arrival. We'll be on the ground in roughly 16:24. We'll be on the ground in about 15 to 20 minutes. Flight attendants, please prepare your cabin for arrival. Cockpit. We have started our initial descent into Fort Lauderdale Airport. Current weather in Fort Lauderdale, winds from the east at 5 knots. We got some light rain and some ceilings at 7,500 feet. Temperature's 23 degrees. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, so don't ask. We are expecting an on-time arrival. We'll be on the ground in roughly 16:24. We'll be on the ground in about 15 to 20 minutes. Flight attendants, please prepare your cabin for arrival. And there's transition altitude, 18,000 feet. We have a new altimeter in Lauderdale of 2996. So we're going to put that in. I'm going to put that in our perf page as well. And we'll now go with the approach checklist. Briefing's complete. Approach stable by 1,000 feet AGL. ECAM status is checked. Seatbelts are on. Minimum's 200 set. Engine, NEIs 1 and 2 are on. And altimeter's 2996 set. Approach checklist complete. We're working on meeting that crossing constraint. Just about where we need to be, at or above 15,270 knots. We're at 16.2. Looking pretty good. What I'm going to try to do is, as we get closer, when we turn on the downwind, I'm going to try to get lower faster and cut off a big portion of that approach. We do have a discon that's going to be coming up. We'll sort that out as we get a little bit closer to it. You can see that here. We go into the planned result star. That's when shit starts flickering. Flight plan, boom. Working our way down, down. We start turning onto the downwind, and then what we'll probably do is, from whatever this fix is, we'll go to either Gamvy or Warrior to cut off a big portion of this downwind shit. Cause I gotta hurry this up. I'm supposed to leave the, oh my god, I was supposed to leave the house 11 minutes ago. I'm probably actually gonna have to cut this stream off. It's a 30-minute drive. Pick up my girlfriend. I'm supposed to be there in 15 minutes. So, shit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm gonna have to cut this one off. I'm not gonna be able to finish it because of girlfriend problems. But as always, I appreciate y'all stopping by and hanging out with me for the few minutes that we got to fly today. Expect more streams tomorrow. Myself and my good buddy Rio from Flaps 121 Simulations. We're going to be doing some streams tomorrow. Not sure exactly what we're going to do, but we're going to do something because I will have all day and night to fly, unlike today. So as always, thank you guys, and hopefully see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good one.